Yuhua Hamasaki, how are you?
Fabulous as always in my bedroom with no shoes, but telling people how to live their lives on national TV is my passion.
Same, I'm wearing pajama bottoms and no shoes.
Bootleg Opinions.
Yuhua, you're looking so happy and fresh.
Of course, it's all with the help of HelloFresh. What's HelloFresh? HelloFresh is America's #1 meal delivery service kits delivering food straight to your home.
Tell me more.
They have #1 recipes and 5-star recipes. Their food is absolutely delicious. And thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video and saving my life. Because during this pandemic, I've been learning how to cook, making my food, and saving money. You can save up to 75% on groceries if you order from HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com and use the code YUHUA14 for up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts.
What options do they have?
The options are endless. They have pescatarian, which is my favorite, low-cal, carb-smart, straight to your home, pre-packaged proportions so that you don't waste any food, so that you're eating the amounts that you should be eating. And also, my favorite thing, they actually leave less of a footprint on Earth.
Yuhua, that looks very fresh.
I know, right? So fresh you can smell all the way in the UK, right?
Do you know what? I'm gonna sign up right now.
HelloFresh is super duper flexible with the delivery dates, also the portion that you should be getting. You can follow them with easy instructions. Plus, with their breakfast recipes, oh my god, they are to gag for. So sashay away to the link in the description and go to HelloFresh.com and use the code YUHUA14 for 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. Sign up right now!
Healthy, fresh, and easy.
Today's episode is a very special one where you get to give us your bootleg opinions and inspiration from all your Drag Race looks, including the ones that you didn't get to show on the runway.
Stunning. Let's go.
You could care less. You're like stunning. All right, let's just move this along. But how are you since Series 2 of Drag Race UK?
Say that again, my love.
How have you been since Series 2?
Oh, I've been alright. Been on the road. Got to go do my lovely shows. I mean, the whole reason I did Drag Race was to make live shows bigger and better, and I've been able to do that and meet lots of gorgeous people and travel about the UK. Just the UK at the moment, you know, because there is still a pandemic going on.
Basically, my drag, right? Basically, that's all my drag is. But anyway, are you ready to go over these looks? Because the
Let's
first
do it.
one... Okay, cool. Oh, I think your first one is your promo look instead. I'm sorry. Let me pull it up the right one instead. So we first up have your promo look, which is all up in beautiful green. Tell us, baby.
Well, this one wasn't the main promo. This was for Christmas. This is we did.
Never mind. Hold on, this is bootleg. Hold on. So here's your actual promo look, all up in black.
Ah, yes, my Daphne Guinness meets supervillain inspired promo look. I wanted to do like Victorian supervillain meets Daphne Guinness, and I think I got there.
You did do it, and we said in the bootleg opinions with me and Davina is that you know your character really well. You play it really well, and when we first saw this, we were really impressed by how it all brought together with the old lady vibe, with the dark vibe, and also the cabaret vibe, and everything is beautifully made from the top to the bottom. With the big shoulders, with the makeup, it is beautiful. Even the gloves, gorgeous.
I was so excited to do this one. That's the thing with promo things though, you've got to look like the most you. You know, there's no point doing something else. You've got to do something that encapsulates everything you are.
And I told you this before, when I first met you in the UK, I honestly thought that you were a 40 to 50-year-old man. And then I saw you at a drag on television and I realized, wow, he's actually a 30-year-old twink playing a character really well. So splendid job, Mr. Joe Black.
You always call me a twink. I don't know whether to be confused or flattered, but thank you.
Oh, I didn't tell you this. So me and Davina did the Series 3 promos, right? And Davina talked about how she wants 40+ representation in the media. The comments said, well, we thought that Mr. Joe Black and Ginny Lemon was the representation. Huh? Was that not it?
I mean, we got Veronica Green as well.
Next one, Happy Holidays. It's your Happy Holidays look from whatever this is. I don't know what, Joe.
The BBC wanted to do a little festive moment, and this was my one. I thought, oh, everyone else is going to do red and white. So I thought I'll do a very classic Santa. You know, the classic Santas are green and white. I don't know how true it is, but there's that thing about the Coca-Cola made Santa red. But I mean, that could be bullshit. But this is like the traditional Santa on the cards and stuff is green and white. So I wanted to do that with a little finger wave, and I got the long fingers. So there was all the Grinch meets Santa meets weird festive demon thing. That was my vibe.
It's very you, baby. Next up is your entrance look, serving us fortune teller.
Again, it's the thing like with the promo. When you walk in, you gotta look like you. You gotta look like what you look like. So this was an outfit I already had. I've got a show called Touch of Evil, a celebration of villainy and song. And everything is sort of green themed in it. All the lights are green, the promo was all green, all of that sort of stuff, because it's the colour of villainy. It was my costume from the show, which it did have like a fishtail piece on it that I ripped off in the show. So it's sort of 20s, sort of flappery looking, but it's got the super villain elements with the cape, big turban, lovely hair swirl, and I feel like I look like peak me there.
You look marvelous, baby. Yeah, same thing over here with my entrance look. I just wore something that I had before, and that was it. As long as it represents you and it makes a statement, that's, I think, what we're really looking for.
It's a loved piece, so you go in there going, aha, this is me from the outside world. Now let me show you the rest, you know?
Next up is your Brighton look. Queen of your hometown. Why are you laughing?
Because of the picture you chose. You picked the one of me sat on the bench like...
There you go. Now, the judges didn't really get Brighton from this. Can you tell us more about this look, baby?
That shape on my head. Not that I'm coming for anyone. When you come into Brighton and Hove, it says, welcome to Brighton and Hove. And do you know what the City Council logo is? That shape. It is that. So I've got the City Council logo wrapped around my head, which, as you can see behind me, is the pavilion. So I was like, let's not go too literal and dress actually as a castle. Queen of the hometown was the category. So it's like crown, gold, the City Council logo, this lovely iconic tourist attraction on my head. And I thought, I'll be all right. You know, literally the queen of the hometown, but apparently not. And the Graham said, oh, the pavilion is white, but it is very much gold on the inside.
You know, Americans telling foreigners how to live their lives is our passion.
I mean, Graham's Irish, but, you know, in this instance, we can just pretend they're not. And Elizabeth Hurley's very, very, very English, but, you know, she's camp. We'll let her get away with it.
All right, next up is your Mr. David Bowie look. And on Bootleg, we loved it. We got the reference. We really do enjoy this.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to do David Bowie was because someone that I think has inspired a lot of queer people. I've found that with particularly older generations in the UK, or people of a particular age, if you're a bit strange or different, their frame of reference for that is David Bowie, and they'll be like, oh, I used to like David Bowie when I was young. That sort of thing. So I thought that was a great choice. And I wanted to make it very me, but keep the suit and do the jeweled finger waves. I didn't want to come out with just, you know, the orange mullet and the suit. I wanted to turn the suit into a fishtail, which around that time was my very favourite silhouette.
Yeah, we also really love the colors of the blue and also the orange, how it mixed up together. You know what it's kind of giving me? Like 80s cartoony vibes almost.
So what I did was, David Bowie didn't have two different colour eyes, which people think. He has one eye that was constantly dilated. So I wore a light blue contact in one and then a grey in the other to make it look like I had one dilated eye.
Wow, attention to detail.
I tried. The tie in the Life on Mars video is so specific. I just found it in a shop and I was like, okay, that's a good base colour. And I coloured it in with a silver Sharpie. It's got polka dots on it, so I did stones instead of polka dots. Maybe too much detail, I don't know.
Love it. Next up is your surprise look.
This is the before. One look into another is a caterpillar. That's why it's all ridged, rips open and falls and turns into a butterfly-inspired Art Deco look in the colours of the trans pride flag.
Now, I have a question now. How does it transform? Is it like a reveal coat almost? Or does it come off almost like Violet Chachki's jumpsuit?
It's similar to Violet's. So the dress is attached to that blue one. It rips open from the top and the dress is up. so when you do it and spin, the dress pulls down.
Oh, so basically what's underneath the original look becomes the outer part of the look, right?
Yes.
Ooh, you look like a goddess in the second look, like very Grecian goddess sitting in her beautiful mansion or up in the sky, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Next up is your monster mashup, where you have to mash up some monsters.
I mashed up some Nosferatu and a witch. You see those old vintage Halloween postcards of the pin-ups on like fences with the witches' hats with the bonnets? So I wanted to do that for the hat, so it was slightly smaller and just sort of perched on top of the finger waves, and it has the bow. And I'm wearing right now the ruff from that that I've got on in the picture. The outfit, like a lace 80s jacket. We took some old curtains,
Ooh!
ripped them up and burnt them and scratched them and stuff, and layered those all over the cage. I tried to like use things I already had like laying around, whether they were like outfit bits that I could put with something that I'd got made. But this one was some old curtains that were just in storage that were looking a little unhappy, and I was like, well, here we go. And then they turned into the skirt.
She said, I'm not spending $1 on this competition.
Well, and then the hat is made from a cereal box.
Speaking of curtains, did you see that meme that room service posted? You know room service, right? From Drag Race Holland?
Yeah, from Holland.
So, remember like on their series, they win like a dress as one of their prizes?
Not a very nice dress.
So apparently it's a very expensive dress, right? So there was a meme that she made. The day after Envy Peru collects that price of that dress, they become curtains on her window. So the first photo was in the workroom on the mannequin. The second photo was 2 pink curtains hung up against the window.
Nice. I mean, it was a horrible dress.
I'm not gonna give my bootleg opinion on that, girl.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
I don't think anybody else did a witch during your season, I believe.
Yeah, no, I don't know why anyone didn't do a witch. That's why I did Nosferatu, because I thought no one else would do Nosferatu.
Next up is your A Day at the Seaside. I believe that you and another queen had a similar look.
Me and a few, actually. So it turns out Cherry Valentine had a similar approach.
Oh!
When we prepared for Drag Race Holland didn't exist. And Chelsea Boy had a similar thing to this. Mine was already made, like I didn't change anything in the break. In fact, you see it in episode 1. They do a pan over my workstation and you see the wig sat there. And then that came out and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But I was like, oh, it's all right. I've been eliminated anyway. I'm not going back. And then I go back and the first bloody runway is this one. So I got loads of people saying, you've copied Chelsea Boy. I was like, no. That series didn't exist when we prepared for this. This was one of the ones that I was most excited to do on the runway, especially because of the presentation of like pretending I was in the wind. I had so much fun hand painting all the seagull onto the outfit, like the white spots and stuff. They've all got like brown and green and things in them. Because I was like Googling how, like, what does seagull look like? And then painting that all in, doing it in the hair.
It looks brilliant. Love it.
Actually, it was funny because I shot this before going back, not knowing I was going to go back. Often with these things, the photos people put up afterwards are so edited and so much more like, well, this is what I would have done.
Oh, yeah!
And then it's...
Oh!
Right?
I'll let you finish and then I'll go in on that, girl.
Yeah. Oh, this is like very like, this is what I would have done. And then I shot this before going back. And then actually, I liked my makeup better on the show because this one I tried to keep it subtle. And then on the show, because I was panicking, I just went, bang! And just like went so much heavier. On the show, it looked way more f***ed up and I liked it better than I did for the actual shoot. So I had the reverse thing, where this has not as good makeup as the one on the show.
And also, Crystal mentioned from Series 1 said that she has something similar planned as well.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think that A Day of the Sea, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, was also supposed to be a category for Series 1.
We all think alike and it's, you know, all on the same wavelength. We should start a, like, I don't know, a gang or something. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
I was doing a video during the series was airing and I didn't realize that I've been to Brighton. I actually have seen these kind of situations at Brighton.
Yeah, that was shot on Brighton Pier.
You mentioning how queens always edit their photos to the way that they think in their head of how they look. Girl, it is getting a little bit out of hand, right? Because on Drag Race, they're just walking down the runway, no fire, no sparkle, no lights. It's just them and that stage, right? And then when they post the photos on Instagram, it's like, whoa! whoa, where did that fire came about? Like, they're in the farm, they're in the ocean, they're under the sea, they're in space even, girl.
My favourite is like
Delusions.
everything everyone doing being like a little bodysuit, and then they put up a picture and they're like, well, this is what I would have done for this. And then they're looking like Nicki Minaj at the Met.
Oh, this is also the episode that y'all came back and wore those like mascot outfits, right?
Yes.
And they voted? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Me as the elephant. I thought it would have been more fun to walk in through the where everyone came in, because I didn't know how we were going to do it. So I was going to walk in and be like, sorry, my train was late. I wanted to do something like that, but no, they were so warm. They were so warm. We had to be in them for so long. Such a long time.
Oh, speaking of embarrassing mini challenges, last season, season 13, everybody was wearing a diaper, do you remember? Oh, and do you want to tell us about your H&M look?
You know, what they do on Drag Race.
What do they do?
They don't really tell you what anything actually is. You know, for instance, if something had said, you're going for a Eurovision, do you know what I would have brought? Something for Eurovision. But if they say, pop group, I'm going to bring a little pink dress. Do you know why? Because I'm not a pop person. What the do I wear? Do you know what I mean? Am I going to come out looking like a Gustav Klimt painting for a pop challenge? No, I'm not. So I was like, right, pink dress, that'll do. And that ended well. For me, it was like, oh, okay, it needs to be simple pop so I can move in it, do some whatever people do in pop things. And then it was bloody Eurovision. I would have come out looking like Lordi. Which is, if you are unfamiliar, Yuhua, is the Finnish Eurovision winners.
I know who that is.
A heavy rock monster band, yeah. Or Verka Serduchko would have been amazing, you know, with like a big star on my head and a mirror ball outfit. I would have done something like that, but instead I was like, right, I'm going to be in Little Mix. Here we fucking go. I have a pink dress.
I just took a good look at you right now because my screen is really small. You look like you're jumping out of a birthday gift.
I am a birthday gift.
You look so adorable.
Thank you. I feel like a haunted Leonardo da Vinci.
Next up is your prehistoric look, baby.
I thought everyone's going to put a bone in their hair and be like Bam Bam from Flintstones was what I thought was going to happen. And I also was worried that some looks could look a bit racist. So I was like, I'm not doing any kind of like traditionally tribal things because I just think that can be read an entirely wrong way and I'm not playing those games. So I wanted to go with like a enchantress, sorceressy type thing because if you go to the close-ups, half of my face was mangled, and that's why I've got like the saber-toothed tiger on my head because I'm like, right, she's taken the saber-toothed tiger, she's got half her face, she's blind now. Where on her head, the saber-toothed tiger claw. And this was an old dress that I had laying around that I spray painted and did loads of like cave paintings and stuff on and like symbols and things.
She really said, I am not spending $1 in this competition. I'm gonna use a bunch of old dresses and go shopping at H&M.
Being serious for a moment, I actually did spend quite a lot of money. But much less than other people. And the reason is because I'm not going to bankrupt myself. So that was the thing, is that I used what I had. Like, if there was something that was a good base for something, I was going to use it.
You know what? That's something that I did as well. I didn't spend too much money. A lot of the stuff that I wore were stuff that I had already. You know what I mean? All right, about this look, you look really sexy in this. This is something that I don't expect you to do because this hair is something that I don't expect you to wear. And posing like this, selling sex, very Sports Illustrated by the river. Well, of course there's no water, but you're on the ground, you know what I mean? Something that I don't really expect you to do because usually when I picture you, you're in something with fur, something long, hands covered with gloves, short hair, a cigarette, you know what I mean? This is very someone in her 20s.
We shot this in some woods near where Greg lives, who was doing the photo. And then there were people out walking their dogs, and I was just crawling around in the leaves like...
So I'm from New York and also kind of close to the beaches. So whenever I hear people are in the woods or in the park, I think of cruising. So I thought you were going to say that you were shooting this. At the same time, people were cruising behind the woods. Category is Snatch game.
So this is Tallulah Bankhead, who the original Cruella de Vil animated version is based on. That's why she carries the cigarette and says, "Darling, darling." Because Tallulah Bankhead couldn't remember anyone's name, so she called everybody darling. And she smoked, and she had chronic bronchitis, and she sounded like this.
Bronchitis? Ain't nobody got time for that.
She was from Alabama, but she had like a weird English accent because she studied in the theatre, darling, in London, darling. She died much older than probably someone who was so addicted to cocaine and booze and cigarettes as she was. One of her last appearances is in the 60s Batman with Adam West. So that was that was going to be my Snatch game.
Whoa! We are literally robbed of seeing this. Next up is Mr. Joe Black, stoned on the runway. Bring it to the runway.
Here's my Edward Scissorhands meets classic vampy 1920s thing. So I thought, again, everyone would go very classic gowns. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do a sort of 1920s weird sex doll, Weimar fetish, Edward Scissorhands strappy thing. It's very painful to wear because it's so heavy. I love this look so much. Even my smoke is stoned. The wolves that I've got on my shoulder are made of pizza boxes. The wolves have crystalled ball gags, and the person that did all of the fetish wear stuff made the little ball gags for the wolves. So I took the wolves to them and I was like, hello, can you make little ball gags for them, please?
You know what this is also giving me? Almost like Monster Mashup as well. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You look like a doll in this. You know those dolls they sell in the store?
The makeup was supposed to be like old Fleischner cartoons. You know, like Betty Boop and Rubber Hose cartoons. The ones that are all like...
Next up is your Panto look.
Well, I wanted to be a wicked stepmother, so I've got my little Davina de Campos with me. I had so much fun painting those faces on those puppets. I based the face on comedian. It is Myra Dubois. And everyone, I think, went a bit too pretty for Panto, actually. Whereas I drew in, like, age lines, and I was like, right, I need all the blue eyeshadow, put my eyebrow up here, lips down.
Played by...
Yeah, that was...
played by Gareth Joyner, right?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
That's
Myra
the delay that people live for a bootleg. Where we just say one thing and we just kind of go, are you going to talk next or me?
No,
Someone left a comment. You
Sorry,
see it's happening again. Someone left a comment and said, I used to get scared when there's awkward silences on Yuhua's bootlegs, but now I just giggle at it. People used to get scared.
Well, at least you're consistent.
Yeah.
But for
people
the
don't
viewers...
realize...
Again, we're doing it again!
Yeah, people don't realize is that when we're looking at these looks, I mentioned it before, I think once briefly, is that when we're doing these looks, we have the whole screen filled up with the look, right? And then we see a little corner of ourselves, the person that we're talking to on the screen, just like a little small little piece, right? So I can't really tell if you're talking to me, if the Zoom internet went out, or if my audio went out or whatnot. So it's all done by, by feelings.
Yeah, emotions. We'll get vibes. For the viewers of this video, please do check out Myra Dubois and do check out Cherry Liqueur as well, whose hideous face also inspired this. And I say that because I really like them. Love you, Cherry.
Last up is your finale look, which we absolutely love. All up in red. I'm sure you even got top favorite look by me and Davina. This is so cool.
Oh, thank you. The boat and the head bit, I actually found in an antique shop. I held onto that boat since season 1. And I said to myself that I would only wear that boat if I got on Drag Race. And it would be my finale. And then eventually it happened. And I got to take the boat for the finale. The look was built around the head. The head was all stoned and repaired because it was in really bad condition. But the ruff came with it, actually. It was a lovely little find in an antique shop that inspired the rest of the look.
Was the rest of the look expensive? Because this looks really expensive.
It was just like, you know, lace and plastic. It was all built on the plastics to like hold it out. But the stoning was the long bit here. That was one of the ones I stoned myself. In terms of like really hands-on work, this one and the Seaside one was mostly my problem.
So Davina and I both said that this also had Panto inspirations behind it. Was there any Panto inspirations on your end?
I love Panto looks because they're just so big and garish and ridiculous. And you get these giant, ridiculous gowns, these huge headpieces. And I guess because I love those kind of things, there's some of that in there. It wasn't like I'm going to make this panto. It's just I went in a direction that I wanted to make it as big and grand as possible, but it ended up looking sort of panto-y.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, out of all of these looks, which one is your favorite?
Oh, do I have to pick only one?
And then, at the fun part, you also get to pick one of your least favorite looks.
Oh, cool.
We have to do that too. Hey, I did one for mine, so, you know.
I think the Seaside is probably my favorite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Seaside or Finale, I can't decide between them. The Seaside's the one that I always think if I got a bigger place to live, that I would have the Seaside look on like a fully adjustable mannequin on display in my house. But actually, the Finale would look pretty good on display in the house as well.
Now, what about your least favorite look then?
Prehistoric.
Why?
I don't like the theme. I just felt like the theme's not that interesting because you're so limited in what you can do. I mean, the Bimini did the amoeba thing, the sort of first ever cell or whatever it was, but it looked in the Iris Van Harpen inspired look, which was amazing. So that was really thinking outside the box and incredible. But for me, I couldn't get my head around how I would do Prehistoric, so it was one of the ones that felt the least me.
Well, Mr. Joe Black, thank you so much for giving us your bootleg opinions. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the Instagram, that's Mr. Joe Black, M-I-S-T-E-R. On the Twitter, that's Mr. Joe Black, M-I-S-T-E-R. Or my website, which is Mr. Joe Black, that's M-I-S-T-E-R, not just M-R. Yeah, all of those, everything's the same, except from Facebook, which is just Joe Black.
And my name is Yuhua Hamasaki. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and new on TikTok under Yuhua Hamasaki. Bye, Mr. Joe Black.
Bye!
Mwah.